Y'all, it is, you can't make this stuff up. So apparently Tyrese's dusty ass is in jail because he is not paying his child support. I won't say he can't pay it, but he's not paying it. I feel like he has it and he's just like being dusty, just like all these other broke black men out here and white men and any other race of males who decide they don't want to pay their child support. He's another Dusty. This is how you know the difference between a high value man, because a high value man is not based on how much money you make. Because you could be making all the money in the world, and if you're still moving like a Dusty, then you're still dusty as hell, and you're not high value. High value men do not even have to be the richest men in the world. They just have to be of value to their families and their communities and someone other than their own selfish self. When you're just worrying about yourself, you're not high value. If you're just like, oh, I'm just getting the bag, you're not high value. If you getting the bag doesn't do anything for anyone else, then you're not high value. No one cares about you having quote unquote value if you're not of benefit to anybody else. At minimum, your own family. Tyrese is at minimum not being a benefit to his own children. He was already, a husband that, didn't work out for himself. His wife left him or whatever, his preference. And he does not want to pay child support because when these men divorce, get a divorce with their their wives, they get really vindictive. And it's funny because men talk about women going after them for child support. And it's like, yeah, because we still have to raise the kids. Women 9 times out of 10 have the children. And usually we have the children because the father decided he wanted us to have the children because he don't want to mess up his single life, God forbid. And they know that it's really hard to raise kids. So it's like they want to not only not raise the kids, but they don't want to pay for the kids either. And it just doesn't work that way. So luckily we have the white man's court system where we can go to court and white men, Asian men, whatever male, accountable to pay their effing child support because children still need money to do things. And I was just on this live that was really quite remedial with the males in there acting like, oh, it doesn't take $20,000 to raise a child, yada, yada, yada. No, it doesn't take a $20,000 to raise an average child. As parents make significantly less. But when your father makes a whole lot more and your standard of living has been a certain way, the court system is set up so that your child is going to maintain that standard of living if it's possible. They're not going to let the child live in squalor while daddy is living in a mansion somewhere because daddy doesn't want to give money to the mom. And guys really would do that trifling shit. It's unheard. It's unbelievable. And then they'll be sitting on podcasts about how high value they are when they're creating no value for anyone other than themselves. That's not high value. People get really confused what high value means. I can't stand hearing you're high earning, possibly, which a lot of these dusty ass males on these podcasts are not even that. But at most, you're high earning. High value, that's the minority. It's a very small number. So let's get right into these details to see what dusty ass Tyrese is doing, or should I say Cryrese, because he be crying all over the place, all over the internet, everywhere. And he's crying now. So this is from the Hollywood Reporter. They said Cryrese Gibson arrested at court hearing for underpayment of child support. And this is interesting because I was just on another live and there was mothers saying like if fathers come in there and just pay like a couple dollars towards his child support, he's okay. And I'm just like, where do they do that at? And why does it seem like there's different rules everywhere? Like I know there's different rules per state and things like that, but I'm like, even down to that, like, can we get some kind of consistency here, some universal laws where every father is held to that standard? Like if you say it's $800, he shouldn't be coming in there like, well, I got 50 this week and da-da-da. Because as a mother, I can't half-ass and be like, well, I want to go on vacation. I don't really feel like raising my kids today. So I can't be like, I'm going to do 10% of parenting and then the other 90%, I don't know what's going to happen with it. Because they don't ask. They don't care. They don't try to figure it out. Like, I only got this much. Like, how are we going to come through it? They don't care. Moms have to fucking cover down somehow. We had to find it. We had to make it happen. We had to get it out the mud, which actually I hate that saying, but people have been saying that so much for like the last couple of years. But yeah, we got to like figure it out and get creative and find out how we're going to pay for childcare that month, or how we're going to get diapers, how we're going to do this, how we're going to do that. And no one asks us how we're going to do it. They just letting the dad come up in the courthouse paying like a fraction of what he's supposed to pay. That's unacceptable. So I'm very happy that they're locking Cryrese up, and especially him being a celebrity male, I think that's wonderful. That men can see this as an example. Pay your fucking child support. And this shouldn't be another example to women. Get your child support. Go down to the courthouse and get your child support. Even if you have to move far away from him to make sure you and your child are safe, and then you file for your child support, do what you got to do, but get your coin. So the Fast and Furious franchise star who predicted his incarceration in an Instagram post this weekend is being held in Atlanta after another contentious hearing in his protracted battle with his preference ex, Samantha Lee. Tyrese Gibson is in custody in Atlanta after a contentious child support hearing where he was ordered to pay upward of $73,000 to his former partner by a judge to avoid jail time according to court records. The actor appeared in Fulton County Superior Court for the latest hearing in his ongoing battle with ex-wife Samantha Lee, with whom he shares a daughter, Soraya. Gibson was ordered to pay $10,690 a month in child support in April 2023, but Judge Kevin Farmer held him in contempt over his non-payment. Gibson was like, he really is just not paying $10,000. Seriously? Seriously. That's wild to me. Like, you're a whole, like, A-list actor, I guess, and you're a singer, you got albums. You're Cryrese, you know, you're a celebrity, you're famous, you're supposed to be rich. I don't know what is his money looking like, but $10,000, I think like average men can pay that. There's regular eyes that can pay that. Anyway, so Gibson was seen being handcuffed in court and then removed by a bailiff. TMZ first reported the news. So, Mr. Gibson has chosen not to abide by the court's child support order and was held in willful contempt yesterday for the third time since the conclusion of the divorce trial. Lee's attorney, Adam Glecklin, wrote in a statement emailed to The Hollywood Reporter, Mr. Gibson has only paid the proper child support amount 3 times in the 25 months since the divorce trial. That's insane. And I wonder how much is he getting his child. And this is just clearly Cryrese being very vindictive, being very angry that he no longer has control of this woman. He no longer has access to this woman. I don't know why they had a breakdown with their relationship, but this ain't like it's the first relationship of his that's not worked. So maybe it's you, Cryrese. Like males want to always, I would say black males because I'm usually around black males, but anyways, like males always want to say, you know, who's the common denominator if you have, you know, baby dads, if you have this and that. Well, who's the common denominator with Cryrese? With all these males where the relation, none of the relationships work. Who's the common denominator? Okay, yeah, it's Cryrese. So they didn't work. I don't know why they didn't work. I don't really care. She could have left just because it was a Tuesday and she didn't feel like being with him anymore. Like, that's just the risk you take when you have a child with somebody. Men do it all the effing time. They go get some milk and don't come back. They go get a new girlfriend and leave their whole family and decide they want to start a new life. They do whatever the hell they want to do, and women can do the same thing. Also, the live I was in today, this guy was trying to like talk about, well, if the mom knows it's going to be a struggle financially, then maybe she just shouldn't get divorced. And then they were trying to like sit here, other guys are sitting here trying to give excuses why women leave. What about abuse? What about this? What about nothing? What about she just want to fucking leave? Because that's what men do all the time. It's a free country. It's not illegal to just up and decide, I don't want to be married to you anymore. That literally is her right. And guess what? You still have children together. So unless you want to raise your child majority of the time, which most guys don't, it will show you in the statistics and the studies and in the records that majority of times men just give the custody, the primary custody, to the mother because they can't be bothered. And then they want to sit there and bitch and moan because they have to cut a check every month. Oh, how is she spending it? Da-da-da-da. I don't ask you what you're doing with your fucking free time. You're never around your child. You're running the streets like a whole 304 and with your community pin, and you're probably doing it while we're still together. And now you want to try to clock me and worry about what I'm doing with the money. Don't even fix your face. Because if you have a problem with how I'm spending the money, how about you get our child majority of the time and I give you the money? And of course, they're not going to do that. So ladies, that's what I'm telling you to do. Tell them that whenever they lose their mind and they see some stupid, dusty ass shit like that, just let them know that you can be raising your child just like I'm raising our child. I don't give a fuck what is going on. He's going to have to make life changes and do the most, just like you had to do to raise a child. I don't want to hear no excuses on his end because don't nobody care about women and what we got going on. They don't care about our plight. They don't care that we make less than men on the dollar, you know, pennies on the dollar, whatever. They don't care that as women, we're not as safe in this country or anywhere in this world. They don't care. They do not care. They do not sit there and try to figure out how we're going to pay for this, how we're going to pay for that. Mothers just have to make it happen. We just have to make ends meet and figure it out. So if we can do that, then a grown-ass man definitely can. And if anything, when guys know it and the studies show it, when single fathers have their kids, they get way more support than women ever could. One, because women don't like women. And two, because men are, they are expected to be, one, people looking at them like, oh my gosh, you're doing something so great, even though he's just literally doing his job to help raise this human that he helped create, had no problem, was happily helping create. Two, everybody just wants to help men because they just see them as like, he doesn't know any better. Like they love to infantilize men or infantize men and act like they're 3-year-olds when they're really grown, overgrown, musty ass, grown. Did I mention that they grown men? And, 3 women are attracted to it. They probably don't see it enough where men are actually doing a damn job. So it's like, oh my gosh, we got to break our neck and roll out the red carpet and be so pressed because he's being a father, and I can't stand when I see people like making a whole, because it's like, it's not that I don't like to see it, but do we have to make a whole post about it online? Like everywhere, you don't ever see people say, I love seeing mothers with their children. You never see that. But you always see somebody trying, I love seeing a single father or a father with his kids doing what? His job? I can't. Anyways, so Gluckman added that despite the judge's decision, Lee had directed him to request to the court that they not incarcerate Gibson and that she, quote unquote, has only ever wanted to effectively co-parent with Tyrese for the benefit of their daughter and wanted to end the now 4 years of litigation so they can each move forward with their lives for the best interest of their daughter. And no, he wants to be a little pathetic bitch because he's mad that they didn't work. That's just what it is. And they want to talk about women being vindictive. Ciao, bye. We're going to call it like you see it. I'm tired of talking about women being jealous when your biggest hater is a lot of times the husband, the man you're married to, the man you're sleeping with, the man sleeping next to you every day, every night, the man you think you're building a life with. And then I'm also going to call out the vindictiveness, the petty behavior, the sassy behavior that males distribute, just really exhibit to everyone. And they're very emotional as well. We see Cryrese crying all over the internet, so I just call him Cryrese because every time I see him, he's crying about something, either crying figuratively or literally. And so, as you can see, the ex-wife, Samantha Lee, is really just like, I just want to be done with this. Because that's usually the case. When women are down, we're down. When a woman's fed up, R. Kelly said it best. He's gross, but he said it, and it's true. When we are fed up, there is literally nothing you can do about it. She doesn't want to be with him for whatever reason. I don't know if he cheated. I don't know if he was beaten. I don't know what he was doing. Don't care. She doesn't want to be with you anymore. You can't force someone to be with you. Slavery is over. Your wife's slave is gone. You cannot have her anymore, period. She's not property. You don't have any rights to her. She's divorced you. She is moving on with her life, or attempting to anyway. Because, of course, as you can see, Cryrese is not letting go. $10,000 a month is not a lot of money. And he's talking about, it don't cost $20,000 to raise a kid. Look like she only getting like half that. And it's like, what? You are a wealthy, or supposedly a wealthy, famous actor / music singer, R&B singer, and you're telling me you can't afford $10,000 a month for your child? That should be like a drop in the bucket. And I don't know if he has other kids, but I'm pretty sure the courts definitely considered that, because they usually do. They also usually consider what the mom makes as well. So all those things play a key factor. Like, people just swear moms be getting over. We really don't. We barely get anything, to be honest. Majority of mothers don't even see the fucking child support check. Or if we do get approved for some child support, it's like $2 a month. Ain't nothing to write home about. We're still coming majority of the time out the bulk of the money when it comes to our children. Especially if you want your child to have the best life you can give them, moms are going to be paying out of pocket extra. Because then you try to go back to court, they make it like so hard to get anything raised. So you're going, like, who has time? She just said 4 years. Ain't nobody got time to be fighting with the other parent who doesn't give a shit about their child for 4 years because you want your child to take swim lessons. No, my child is going to be in swim lesson. He going to be taking swim. He going to be in soccer. He going to be in football, basketball, whatever else I want to put him in, whatever else he want to do, because we only get 18 years with this person. And I'm going to do the best I can in them 18 years, because once it's over, it's so effing over. And then kids wonder why, people wonder why kids grow up and can't stand their fathers, whether they were in their lives or not, because they're selfish. They're selfish pricks. You think their daughter's not going to know that he did this to her mother? Like, she's not going to know that her dad was acting like this over $10,000. I don't know how many kids he has. I don't care. I'm not about to look any of that crap up. I could care less. I am not the attorney. I'm trusting the judges on this. I'm trusting the attorneys on this. I'm trusting everybody who's showed up with them tax statements and them pay stubs or whatever they showed up with and said, this is what you can pay. And then they're going to, and people don't really know how the system works, but they base it on what the child's life was like beforehand. So Cryrese was online talking about, it didn't cost you didn't cost that much to raise a baby when I was married to her. How do you know? How do you know? I mean, how much is your mortgage? How much was the baby's daycare or the nanny? How much was the Pampers? How much were the clothes? How much was the formula? How much was this? How much was that? Like, child, bye. What are you talking about? Like, it did cost it, but you didn't notice it because your big ass was living in the house too and helping to eat the food, and you were enjoying having access to her mother. So you weren't really paying much attention to it, but I'm pretty sure it cost about $10,000 to take care of that child when they were still married. Period. So they said Farmer has handed the Fast and Furious actor an opportunity to avoid jail time if he pays $73,525.73 within 48 hours, according to the order for incarceration obtained by The Hollywood Reporter. This includes $7,500 in legal fees paid by Lee. According to TMZ, Gibson had been making a partial $2,200 in child support payments monthly, just under 25% of the amount the court ordered in 2022 during another contentious hearing. He gonna pay the lady $2,000. Like, he know better. He know better. You know what I would do, honestly? I would just drop the baby off of him. You got the baby. You got this. You got this. You want to pay $2,000 and like, because mothers are giving up our time and our money. But it's like, okay, you're stingy, you're selfish, you're being petty because you don't have access to me anymore. Not a problem. That's weird and gross. So here's your child, and you guys have that great life. You're not going to get access to me. Deal with it. I'm tired of men trying to control women with marriage, and I'm tired of women still being pressed on marriage and being too stupid to realize that it's a tool for controlling you and oppressing you. They really did a number on y'all to make you feel like you benefiting and you're something special because you got a ring on your finger, honey. You got a clank on your finger. You're in jail. You're doing your bid as a slave prison wife. So have fun with that. Stop trying to flex on people because majority of people you're trying to flex on do not want your life, okay? So TMZ reports that Gibson is making arrangements to pay the $73,520.73 and leave jail in Atlanta. I bet his ass is now because he don't want to be in jail. So on Sunday, Gibson told his Instagram followers that his arrest might be imminent in a post wherein he also attacked Farmer and griped about the fairness of the family court system to her father's child by Samantha's lawyer, Adam Gleckland, and was ordered to pay only $10,000. He was paying $2,200 of that. That's what a regular schmegler guy pays for their children. This guy's crazy. He's crazy. So Samantha's lawyer, Adam Gleckland, and William Alexander, who are besties with the judge, Kevin M. Farmer, collusion, Gibson wrote in the now deleted post. He's so pathetic. You shouldn't even be talking about your court case like that in public. Like, you're literally still going through the case. Why are you, like, telling the whole world about it? Just ignorant. We are appealing all... And it's like, why do you tell other people? Like, why are you telling us? We can't... We have no power over what that judge is going to do. Don't have power and don't care. We are appealing all of his rulings and already have tried to get this judge thrown off the bench twice. He added on Sunday of Farmer. The second time we tried to get him recused from the bench, he actually denied his own request to be thrown off the bench. Imagine that. Yeah, because it's ignorant. Why is he being thrown off the bench? Because you're claiming they're friends? Most attorneys know the judges. They literally work together? What are you talking about? He added, it's pretty clear that they hate my guts. Well, they should, because you're annoying. But I must remind them and everything about my life and my success. Yeah, and that's why you should be able to pay your child support, idiot. How do people be online flexing how much money they're making and then looking dumb? Like, someone said it best. They're like, men will lead with money and then be mad when women want them for their money, or women divorce them and expect them to pay a lot of money for child support and alimony. It's like, that's all you care about is your money, money, money. Money over everything. Money, money, money. Got to get the bag. Focus on the bag. Blah, 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 blah. And then when people want your money, you try to play down like, oh, I don't have it. Well, you're literally saying right here. You're literally trying to brag about your little success in your whole life and everything. But you're sitting here like, I cannot afford to pay $10,000 a month for my daughter. Pretty pathetic. So he said, I've worked my ass off since I was 14 years old. No one cares. To get here. Hashtag family law courts are the worst towards fathers. Cry, cry, cry. Stop getting married and stop having kids. If you really feel that way, just stop. You really think you're going to force some woman to be with you forever if she doesn't want to? The divorce rate is very high. It's at least 50%. They try to act like it's not. It is. It's up there. So you should already know. Mature people already know going into it that they're taking a risk. So why we have to have these ignorant simpletons acting like marriage should be forever and it has to be forever? Just like the public offender said, just take till death out of your vows. You don't have to have them in there. This fake, the whole thing is man-made and fake news anyway. Just take that shit out. Just take it out. Don't even allow someone to hold that over your head like, oh, it's supposed to be till death. Because these idiots are really taking it to heart and thinking like, oh, if I can't have her, no one can have her. It's like, dude, you got to get a life. You got to touch grass. You got to get out more. You got to meet more people. You got to get a life and realize there's billions and trillions more women out there. It's not just this one woman. Get a fucking life. And it really isn't about that. It's about them thinking they want to control us. And it's disgusting. That is the most vile thing. When I realized, probably I was 2 years old when I realized how much men feel like they are entitled to women in our bodies, able to control us. They look at us as property and it's just disgusting. The whole thing is vile. And then the fact that anyone is still walking around trying to flex a marriage, you've got to be kidding me. Like your head is in the fucking sand. You are not paying any kind of attention. Can't nobody convince me otherwise. Can't nobody convince me otherwise. It's like you need to deep dive into reality of what these marriages are really about, why they were first created. Do your research something because you're looking crazy at this point. Nobody is jealous of your marriage. So Gibson and Lee were married in 2017. She filed a complaint for divorce in 2020, and the two later released a joint statement in which they called the split, quote unquote, a painful and significant development in our lives. So a 2022 hearing where Farmer ordered Gibson to pay $10,690 monthly in child support, which according to Gleckland came about because the parties could not resolve the divorce without a trial, grew contentious when the actress snapped at one of Lee's lawyers after he declared that the baby boy star had earned over $2 million the previous year. I'm so confused. When Gibson started asking Lee's attorney a question, Farmer snapped at him, threatening to hold him in contempt of court, then telling him, "You don't ask questions. That's not how this works." At that hearing, Farmer also informed Gibson that the $10,690 monthly in child support should have been paid since Lee filed for divorce in 2020, eventually ruling that he owed a back payment of $169,000. So these black guys really don't know how this works. I love it. I love it. They think they can screw their way out of racism. And I'm not saying like there's racism here, but what I can say is black men do not have any power because they refuse to move like men. Like he's sitting here having a whole bitch fit in a courtroom with a bunch of men, most likely non-black men on top of that, who are in control of everything, the resources, the laws, everything that's happening. These men that he's whining and yelling and bitching and moaning to, they're looking at him like, we could care less. You can't touch us. And look at him now in prison looking dumb, in jail or wherever he is, looking stupid because you don't have any power, because you constantly relinquish your power. Every chance black men get, they relinquish their power, and all they want to do is run around like immature fuckboys and just screwing everything that moves. That's not going to get you power. That's not making you a man. No one cares about that. Because at the end of the day, when you're sitting in this courtroom, especially with a non-black woman, and the judge is telling you this is how much you have to pay for this child, which to me, honestly, is not even that much money for who he is and how much he makes. Now he wants to cry and throw a hissy fit. Oh, well, if you were moving the whole time like you were supposed to be, like, wasn't Cryrese the one that was talking about he wanted to be Latino or something, or Hispanic? And he said this in the middle of Black History Month, no less. This dude is trash, like a lot of them are. They're just trash. And you can tell because you can look at the so-called black community, and that's how you know it's trash. Because they don't do what they're supposed to do as men. Real men, they build. Real high-value men, they build. They reinvest in their own communities. They protect, they provide. They marry the women that they're supposed to be with, black women. And they have children with those black women. And I'm not going to say that I'm against interracial nothing. I don't care what you do what you do. But I'm talking about like real talk. You should love yourself first. And usually when you love yourself first, you're going to marry someone who looks like you because you're subconsciously desiring to have children who look like you, which is why black women tend to date and marry within their race and procreate within their race. Not majority of the time, 9 times out of 10. Of course, that's shifting now because black males are so disgusting. They're online everywhere, being extremely hateful to black women and just showing their disdain, telling the whole world how much they hate us for whatever reason. We've done nothing to them. And it's really about jealousy. When I see people that have that much vitriol for a group of people that have literally done nothing to them, especially if all we've ever done was help you out and hold you down, you are jealous. You are so envious. You are green with envy. It's disgusting. It's gross to watch it on you. And they don't even care how much we don't like them, but they'll still be around. It's just the most disgusting thing. And it actually does remind me, I'm sorry, of YT people because they don't care. It's like, I don't like you, but they'll still show up in your chat rooms and wherever. And you just have to sit there and look at them like they don't care that we don't like them. They know you can't, you just completely detest them. Like, I can't stand you. They don't care. They're still around. It's so gross. And it's just like, how do we get here? And this is why I say earth is hell. Earth is hell. I don't care what nobody say. So, in addition to his daughter with Lee, Gibson has a teenage daughter, Shayla, with his ex-wife, Norma Mitchell. And of course, so this answers. It's like he only has like one other kid, and he's crying everywhere. Everywhere. It's so embarrassing. And I don't feel like it's even like a blackmail thing. Like, I think that a lot of men really feel like they don't have to pay for their child. And it's like, well, then you need to raise your child. It's really that simple. It's that simple to me. Like, you're either going to pay or you're going to raise your kid. Figure it out. Calls placed by the Hollywood Reporter to the Fulton County Court were not returned on Monday afternoon, September 10th. Okay, updated with these documents. Woo! So he is where he belongs. He is where he belongs. Oh my gosh, y'all. Sean Diddy was just hit with a new sexual assault lawsuit by Dawn Richard. What? What? Dang, Diddy is over with. I really don't even follow what's going on with him because I'm like, you're done. If the justice system does their jobs correctly, which we know that always remains to be seen, he is over. He will be in prison right along with R. Kelly. Because he has done way too much. His stuff is just, ugh. He has just done way too much. He is very violent, very just crazy. Like, I just feel like he was way too powerful so that people could not do anything to him for the longest time. But so let me know what you all think about this story with Cryrese and his preference and him crying all over the place about having to pay child support, which is like what grown men are supposed to do when they get a divorce and they're not with their child majority of the time. Cryrese has been known to have a history of tumultuous relationships and separations, divorces, and constantly fighting over custody of his two daughters. So here, this is an article from people.com that's showing Tyrese giving thanks to his then wife, Samantha Lee, for supporting him as he was being investigated for abuse that would ended up being dropped by child services. And of course, just because an investigation ends, we all know that does not necessarily mean that a person is innocent. It just means that maybe the ex-wife, Norma, didn't want to move forward with it and continue to press charges, or there was no evidence found, or maybe it was settled out of court. So many other things could have been happening. But of course, Tyrese is going to run to the internet and act like he is a saint, even though where there's smoke, there's fire, if you ask me. So Tyrese Gibson is thanking his wife, Samantha Lee Gibson, for her support during his contentious battle with ex-wife Norma Mitchell Gibson over custody of their 10-year-old daughter, Shayla. And I think that's actually very ironic that Samantha Lee was helping him as he was trying to get custody of his daughter, and then now you see the two of them fighting over custody of their daughter that they have together, Soraya. So the 38-year-old actor posted a loving message to Samantha on Instagram Saturday, days after the blast reported that the Los Angeles County Department of Children and Family Services had closed their investigation in Tyrese's alleged beating of Shayla and would not be seeking any criminal charges against the actor. When your first charge get dropped, your wife's mind will finally rest, the Fast and the Furious star wrote, captioning a photo of Samantha Lee lying in bed sleeping. Thank you, Jesus, for sending me a fierce and strong wife who was educated and resilient, that was able to stand with me so far through this unexpected storm. We stress so that our wives and kids can rest. And it's weird that he's saying all this, but they were only married. Actually, no. Him and his ex-wife, Norma, were married 2 years. I'm not sure how long he was married to Samantha, but I'm pretty sure it wasn't that long. And so he goes on to say, when you wake up, I'm sorry, baby. I'm so sorry for posting this, he added. He just needs to come off the internet, please. Some people just need to take a break from the internet. So Child Services initially launched their investigation into Tyrese after Norma, who was married to Gibson from 2007 to 2009, accused Gibson of abusing their daughter on August 19th, alleging in court documents that the actor, quote unquote, pushed our daughter to the ground, pinned her face down, put his knees on her back, grabbed her hands with one arm, and beat her with the other. She also alleged in court documents that her ex hit Shayla between 12 and 16 times, leading the child to allegedly later tell her mother that she couldn't sit down due to pain. In court documents obtained by People in September, physical and legal custody of Shayla was temporarily granted to Norma while ordering Tyrese to stay 100 yards away from both of them as well as Norma's home. Tyrese's rep confirmed reports to People that Child Services had closed their investigation and would not be seeking criminal charges. Norma's lawyer did not respond to People's request for comment. So Tyrese previously told People in a statement that Norma's allegations were hurtful lies. In October, Norma filed a police report against Tyrese after he hired a plane to fly a banner directed at Shayla that read, "No matter what, Daddy loves you, Shayla," over his daughter's school, an act she claimed violated her temporary restraining order against him. Tyrese later admitted to flying the banner, sharing several photos of himself and Shayla to Instagram with the caption, "I wanted the banner to be longer, but it was too expensive." In a statement to People, Norma's attorney, Alina Laura Kanjian, said in response to the banner, "This disturbing behavior is a complete violation of the restraining order. It is a reflection of Mr. Gibson's erratic state of mind." Simply put, he doesn't respect boundaries, Kanjian continued. If he did, this restraining order would not have been necessary. At the end of the day, we simply want him to get the help he needs so that he can become a stable, solid, and secure presence in his daughter's life. And I have to say, I do wonder what fathers are thinking. And of course, I feel like they're just thinking about themselves because all this volatile, back and forth, tumultuous, violent, abusive behavior, your children see all of this, they can tell when the divorce is ugly. And it's not worth it. It's just not worth it. So Tyrese has posted often about his ongoing custody battle in recent weeks. On Friday, he shared a video montage on his Instagram account that showed photos of celebrities like Kanye West, Will Smith, Michael Jackson, and Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson with their kids as Luther Vandross' "Dance with My Father" played in the background. "Soon again, Shayla, you would dance with your father again," Tyrese wrote. "Crack your jokes. Do your best to inject yourself into this #daddy-daughter custody situation." And again, people are not doing the most to inject themselves into this. Tyrese is literally dragging us into the group chat that we didn't ask for. So he continues to say the real men, and he's putting men in all caps, and fathers out here know it only highlights your own, again, all caps for OWN, insecurities. Wish had it in me to respond, he continued. Normally do I just can't because of my energy and prayers and love and power belongs to Shayla because #Shayla rocks. God bless you. Have fun, guys, with your little ones, okay? When you hear their little feet running through the house, don't take it for granted. And now he's an expert on children. But let me continue. I'm like, please just focus on your life, Cryrese, and come off the internet because you sound crazy. So on Wednesday, Tyrese released an almost 7-minute long tearful video in which he openly begged Norma for reconciliation. "Don't take my baby. This is all I got. Don't take my baby, okay?" he said in a Facebook Live clip, sobbing. "I've been away from my baby for 2 months. I just want my baby and no one's listening because no one's in the courtroom." I don't know what that means. "I'm at $13,000 a month. What more do you want from me?" Gibson said loudly as he started crying again. "I don't hate you, Norma. I don't know why you hate me, but I don't hate you. But you just can't wake up on September 11th and accuse me of something I didn't do. That's odd because today is September 11th. And we all know what September 11th is. So that's really interesting. So one more thing I wanted to talk about was Norma Gibson. I did a little bit of research on her, and she's a whole preference. Her mother is, I think, Israeli, and her dad is, I think, from Trinidad. Basically, he's black, and her mom is white. So here we're going into November 2018, where Tyrese is complaining because his preference slash ex-wife refuses to get a job. And she is saying that living life is her job. She's like an artist or something. I don't know. And it's so funny because his daughters, when I'm doing research trying to get pictures of, the daughters, the ex-wives, I don't even know who's who because everyone looks the same. So to say this man has a type, he definitely has a type. And I think it's very interesting that once black men get their asses handed to them by their preferences and they just continue to get screwed over by their preferences, they run back to black women. And I'm just so tired of black women being ready and available to date these males. I just wish we would just go sit down somewhere and say, screw you, you're not my type unless he's writing a lot of checks, like some big with a lot of zeros behind those numbers, because no, it's just gross. It's like you saw it with that guy's name is escaping me. You all know who I'm talking about. The one with Megan Good, Jonathan Majors. You see it with him. Now you're seeing it with Tyrese. I want to say even Taye Diggs did that. Like even he ran and got like a black woman after he got screwed over by his preference ex-wife. Hold on one second. Let me check and see. Yeah, so here you see Taye Diggs with April Jones. I guess she's from Love and Hip Hop. I don't really watch that show, but he was married to Adina Menzel, I believe is how you pronounce her name. And so, anyways, my point is these guys jump right over to black women or close to black women. If she is, I'm not sure if she's biracial or anything, but they tend to go over to black women. Also, Russell Wilson, I'm sorry, love him, and Ciara, but he kind of did the same thing. He was married to a lily white woman first. And then, once I guess she broke his heart or whatever, now he's with Ciara. So it's like men don't want to talk about it, but the reality is, I think like other races of men are realizing that black women are the best option for, if you really want a real loyal, ride or die, good woman by your side who's soft and feminine and but strong and can support you through anything. I think men are starting to realize, black women are where it's at, and it's, unfortunate because for so long there's been this narrative that black women are loud and we're ratchet and not to say there aren't any out there like that, but we are not a monolith. And it's like, just like there's loud, ratchet white women and Asian women and Hispanic women and Latinas, people wanted to paint us, they wanted to paint black women as being like the only ones who exhibited this like rough, hood rat, loud, aggressive behavior. And then two, it was like when other women who were like not black women, especially black American women, they would think it was cute. Like, oh, she's feisty or she's fiery or she's this, she's that. They would give it like little cutesy names for essentially doing the exact same thing, like having an attitude and flipping out or whatever. But at the end of the day, when it comes down to really like who's going to be loyal and by your side, I feel like black women are conditioned like that. One, we're usually raised in the church and with that church, Bible, religion-y mindset. And then two, I don't know, like I don't feel like black women are raised to be so entitled like non-black women. Like we're not raised to think like the world it owes us something or that we're like the on this big high pedestal and we're just the best thing ever and can do no wrong. And I feel like because of that it helps to keep us grounded. And so we grow up and we are hopefully in a family that's teaching us to love ourselves, but we're never like that big headed, like that high up. Like we are loving and we are reliable and we love our man and our family and our children. And it's just interesting watching it kind of play out as, people are starting to see the lies that were told on us for so long because of the internet. They're starting to see the truth play out. And what is that saying that when people say, like, the truth will always reveal itself, the truth always comes to light. And that's essentially what's going on now. It's like the proof is in the pudding. Like if you look at, of course, the marital statistics where they say the longest marriage, like one of the longest marriages that last, like the coupling, is a black woman with a white man. And I mean, the numbers just don't lie. Those are things you can't make up. Those are couples just all over the country that's just lasting. That's being in it for the long haul. And I can't speak to what type of marriage they have, but we know they're not getting divorced for whatever reason in a society where people get divorces because the weather changed. People get divorces for anything. And for some reason, black women with white men just we don't get divorces as often. We last longer, and I honestly think it is because we're happier. I don't know why. Some people have given their different reasons why they think that is. I can't even pretend to say I know why, but some people think we're almost like the same people because white men are raised to, be the leaders, be protectors, providers, builders. But it's like in the same way, black women are kind of raised the same way. And I feel like black males are coddled and not really expected to do much with themselves. And that's probably how white women are raised. So I think when you get like two builders and two strong people who come together, it is a power couple. It is something to be feared, and it is definitely a couple to be, is quite something to watch come together because of the conditioning and the characteristics and the attributes that we have. And I'm not saying like every relationship like that is going to be perfect. Obviously, no one is perfect because we're human. But I feel like the odds are we have a better chance of being successful with being a black woman with a white man than being with a black man. And that's really sad to even admit. But that's just what I see when I look at the numbers, when I look at the stories. It's just the math is what it's telling me, is what the story is telling me. So here's Taye Diggs right here with April Jones. I don't know how long they dated. They say there's a timeline. This was in 2023. Okay, so it's fairly recent. Okay, so they joined. Taye joined in 2021. I do not like Taye Diggs, but anyways, he says she helped him get 1 million followers. And you see, she's already helping him. It's insane. So he said, I literally saw one of her Instagrams or TikToks and I just texted or whatever it's called and said that she was hilarious. She helped me get 1 million followers. I love that stuff like that just kind of comes organically. 1 month prior, they made their red carpet debut at the premiere of his February 2022 film Incarnation. I laughed my ass off with you. You're so effing mope, the former reality star declared via Instagram at the time. The best man actor responded, who, me? I'm the lucky one. The duo subsequently introduced each other to their respective kids. Diggs, for his part, shares son Walker, born in 2009, with ex-wife Adina Menzel. And Jones, meanwhile, is the mother of son Miga, born in 2014, and daughter Amai, born in 2016. She shares her 2 kids with ex-boyfriend Omarion, and they documented their ups and downs on several seasons of the VH1 series. We're cool, we're enjoying ourselves, we're having a lot of fun, the Broadway actor said on Fox 5 New York in July 2022. These are crazy times, so we're just trying to have as much fun as we can, and that kind of helps us out. 1 month later, Diggs gushed about his love in a sweet video. As an adult, there are times in life where you can't believe what you're blessed with. He began, the fact that this woman is in love with me, like I can't. That's how I know. Praise you, Lord, Jesus, Buddha, or universe, because somehow she's nice and she's with me. And it's weird. It sounds like he's like surprised. So somebody's been drinking the Kool-Aid. I think most black males been drinking the Kool-Aid, okay? And they just think that all black women are the crazy ratchet females on TV. It's just really quite pathetic. Because I wonder, like, it's like, okay, maybe because they just experience like the women in their families, and of course, like those women in their families are going to have a different type of relationship with you. Like your mother is going to be telling you what to do, your aunts, your sister's going to be like, get out of my face, just like whatever. But that's just a different type of relationship than you would have with like your wife or your girlfriend or your fiance. And I feel like some of these guys just never even gave black women, black girls a chance. I know where I grew up, they did not date black girls. Like they broke their necks dating the most basic Mayo Becky they could find. I mean, she couldn't get more. It was just like, just you're white. Okay, that's good. That's all that mattered. No real looks, nothing going on. It's just you're white. That was the only criteria. And they, I have a cousin who, that's all he dated was white girls from like childhood up until adulthood. Like I never saw him with a black girl. So I could see like a Tay Diggs being like that, like, oh, I'm just like with white girls all the time, or not black women or whatever. And then finally, when you just had your heart totally stumped on for the millionth time, and this is what happened with my cousin as well. He finally got with a black woman after the white woman that he married. I'm trying to think, did they get married? I want to say they did. I think they did. And he married her, and she cheated on him. They were like divorced within like years, like a few years. They were not married that long at all. And he found out she was cheating on him. And next thing you know, his mom was like, he guess who he's with? He's with a black woman. And I like already, it's like weird. I kind of like already had like a premonition or like some kind of vision. I already kind of like knew that's what was going to happen, because getting divorced is like a doozy, and then getting cheated on and leaving that spouse, I knew like this was going to be like a turning point for him, like a catalyst where it's just like, why not? Like they'd like come running to black women after they've ran through all these white females, and it's like gross. Anyways, so yeah, I think Tay Diggs is the same way. That's what it sounds like. Like he just sounds like he's surprised that she's nice, and it's like, yeah, black women are nice. Like we may not coddle you because we know we want you to be the best that you can be. So we're going to be the wind beneath your wings, even though that sounds super corny, but that's what we do. We're there to make you better. And I think any relationship, you want to be with someone who gently pushes you or challenges you and sees the light in you and wants you to be great, and isn't okay with just watching you spiral downward, and just getting worse, and like, oh, let's just give him more whatever to feed that addiction and just as long as he's happy. That's to me not somebody who really cares about you. But anyway, so he added, so Tay Diggs is continuing to gush about this woman. So he's saying, for all you people out there who don't think there's a God or no higher being or no higher force, F y'all. And I know there is, because someone's looking out after me. Scroll through to see Diggs and Jones' relationship timeline. The twosome were first spotted together at the end of 2021, and Jones made her first appearance on the actor's TikTok page weeks later. I want to say she's biracial, like mixed with something. So I had to do a little bit of research. She's beautiful. Jones shared an Instagram pic that featured her kissing Diggs. And then this is the two of them hanging out. The couple went on vacation to Bora Bora. Stevie Nicks with you was everything. Jones captioned a PDA Phil snap with her man. This is the two of them here. This is their child, I think. Nicks kicked off the new year by cuddling up to Jones's daughter. And you've got Omarion here. For the first time, Omarion spoke about his ex moving on with Diggs, noting he supports the romance. I just met him for the first time, and he seems like a cool dude. He has kids of his own, and he's an older man, so I only expect good things from him, Omarion said on Sway in the Morning. It's a beautiful thing when somebody finds a good thing. He added of his co-parenting dynamic with Jones. I will say we have been moving towards a better relationship at this particular point in time for the kids. It's all good. It was just something we went through. I think as long as respect is overstood and appreciated within the scope of the blended family, then I think you can virtually get through anything. So, Yeah, let's do a little bit of research on her real quick. So they said that she is mixed with, her mom is Taiwanese, Chinese, and Mongolian. And of course, her father's African American with some Native American roots. African American males literally blend their seed with everyone and everything. So she is, to me, considered biracial. If her mom's like Asian, like has a few, a few different Asian countries, I don't care about that. But to me, okay, you're Asian. It's kind of like if you're black, and so like you have family, like your mom is African American and your dad is Ghanaian. It's like, okay, well, that's black. Like from Ghana, and they're both black. It's like, that's black. So she's biracial, but yeah. So but he got a little bit darker at least. He went from. So even after all these ups and downs with Tyrese's back-to-back marriages, this is how you know how codependent men are. He is crying all over the internet, talking about his child support. Even when he has a woman sign a prenup, he's still battling over, spending money for the children that he had with these women. And now, despite all that, he's still saying he just wants to be married. It's like, seriously, Tyrese, like, you just been crying all over the internet about women and how they're such snakes or whatever. And you would think he'd be done with getting married, but he's not. He says he wants to just get married and settle down. And I feel like when people are like that, it screams desperation, and people can smell it all over you, and it makes people want to run away from you. So let's look at these details really quickly. So he apparently has broken up with Zelie Timothy. He was with her 4 years. Basically, he was with her probably almost longer than his 2 marriages combined. Let me stop, but it is what it is. And, I don't know how old she was, but maybe she just wanted to be free and do her thing. I don't know. So they said, while actor and singer Tyrese is currently living up in Dubai with his 15-year-old daughter, Shayla, he's also nursing a weary heart. The star shared on social media this week that he and girlfriend Zelie Timothy broke up, and he's sick and tired of looking for love from the wrong people. Stop trying to convince me that your daughter is not a snake, he wrote while breaking the news. He used, we're assuming, as a metaphor to his perceived situation, a video of a large snake wrapped around what looks to be a deer on the side of a road. Okay, so I guess he's the perceived deer. Make me barf. I just want to be released from this strong devilish allure, the sexual seduction of a masterful manipulator. Well, then stop getting with women just because of how they look. That might help. He continued, I am single now, and I want everyone to DM have fun with at Zelie Timothy, claiming she's verified now and wasn't ready to be married. I want to get married and settle down and really, really nest and embrace the comforts of this family and married life, he added. I smoke hookah at home every day, so I don't want to be in your clubs or around your women, concluding that I want to stay home and be the hardworking family man that I am. He's so annoying. Tyrese and Timothy, an influencer and entrepreneur, had been dating for more than a year. He went public with her in March of 2021. I wish he stopped going public with people. Just quietly date and stay off the internet. So he said that they said that they went public when they were spotted together at the NBA All-Star game in Atlanta. Their relationship came after he and Samantha announced that they were divorcing after nearly 4 years of marriage and welcoming a daughter named Soraya, who at the time was 2 years old. His desire to be married and have a family life again might have something to do with the fact that he didn't want to be divorced in the first place. After the announcement that he and Lee were ending their marriage, he took to social media to say he was going to win her back and even shared a song for her. But alas, it didn't mend their relationship, which is really odd because she said she wanted to get back with him. So I'm like, what's going on? It's like a mess. Thank you for the years, he wrote amid their split. I hope you know what I did. I hope you know that I did the very best I could. I truly did. #better days. We hope that as he deals with this breakup, though one can never say when it comes to reconciliation, he would take some time to heal on his own. As for his comments about Timothy, she hasn't publicly responded. Let people live. So while Tyrese is not paying his child support for his youngest daughter, Soraya, apparently he has enough money to go on a lavish Dubai vacation. And he's defending it. This is in the radaronline.com. And they said that Tyrese claimed his recent trip overseas cost him next to nothing It should not be used as evidence by his ex-wife, Samantha Lee, in their ongoing child support war. According to court documents obtained by RadarOnline.com, Tyrese asked a court to shut down Samantha in her attempt to have him found in contempt. That didn't work out so well for him. So, as we previously reported last year, Samantha accused Tyrese of refusing to pay the full $10,000 per month in child support he had been ordered to pay. Samantha said Tyrese has paid her less than half the required amount in December 2023 and January 2024. The exes share a 4-year-old daughter named Soraya. How messed up is that? Like, how do men go on vacation when they're not paying their child support? My brother just did that. Like, he went to Mexico, but he like doesn't even call his daughter or pay her child support to her, and I'm so pissed about that. So, in response, Tyrese admitted he did not pay the full amount, but said his actions were not malicious. The actor said that his income had dropped drastically since the child support order was entered, but not drastically enough for you to go on vacation. Okay. So Tyrese's lawyer argued the years in which he films a Fast and Furious franchise movie, his income is the highest in those years. So he needs to work more and get offline just crying and be a man and get back to work. Get in the studio, make another movie. I mean, provide for your children. I don't even think $10,000 for a celebrity is that much. So they're saying in 2022, Gibson filmed the franchise movie in question, and he has not filmed any segment in that franchise movie since 2022. So he's not getting royalties or anything. What about all his music? You know, like, that's his fault. That's his problem, and he should have chose better. Consequently, Gibson's income has fluctuated downward since the trial in this case, and as expected, Gibson does not earn the same amount that he earned in August 2022. That's not the child's problem. I cannot believe he is going on vacation and then trying to justify it by saying it didn't cost much of anything, when we all know that Dubai is not cheap. Then you got Nicolas Cage here. To my son wants the mother of his 2 daughters to pay his legal fees and child support court drama. I can't deal with it. So they said he explained the 2023 strikes by WGA and SAG had impacted his ability to work for months. His lawyer added Gibson was gravely impacted, just as everyone who works in Hollywood. So why doesn't he go sing, create a new album? You're a singer. You started out as a singer. What, are you too good to sing now because you did a few movies? Like, give me a break. Because of the 6-month work stoppage in the film industry in 2023, and because Gibson has not shot in major films since 2022, Gibson's income has decreased to less than 20% of what Gibson was earning in August 2022, which Gibson would like to prove at a hearing on this matter. So, in this filing, Tyrese also addressed his recent vacations. In December, the entertainer posted photos of him celebrating his 45th birthday with his current girlfriend, Zelie, in Dubai. The actor shared photos from a trip to Egypt around the same time. In his motion, his lawyers said undoubtedly Samantha's counsel will bring up Tyrese's holiday trip where Tyrese utilized his frequent flyer miles to visit and stay with a friend in a foreign country, not knowing that the flight cost Tyrese nothing and that Tyrese was hosted by his good friend during his trip outside of the U.S. A judge has yet to rule on the matter. As RadarOnline.com previously reported, Tyrese is still in the middle of a legal battle with Home Depot over alleged racial discrimination during a February 2023 store visit. Oh my gosh, he has like so much going on. I don't even know if he's still with Zelie because this is 2024, and I feel like I just read somewhere that 2022 they were like broken up. So I don't know what's going on. So yeah. So apparently they are still together. I am so confused with these people. Y'all know I do not follow celebrities like that. So yeah, that's how I do my research and do more research. So according to Yahoo Entertainment, Tyrese is still with his girlfriend, Zelie Timothy. And let's check out their relationship timeline here. So many fans are curious to find out who Tyrese Gibson's girlfriend is in 2024. With starring roles in numerous Hollywood blockbusters, the actor and singer continues to make headlines for his work. But many fans are eager to know more about the star's personal life, which I'm really surprised because it seems like he gives all the tea on his personal life on a regular basis. But anyways, and in particular, his romantic history. So here's everything that fans need to know about who Tyrese Gibson is dating in 2024 and his relationship with Zelie Timothy. So as of 2024, Tyrese Gibson is still dating Zelie Timothy. Their relationship, which began in March 2021, has been both highly publicized and closely followed by fans. Despite a brief and public breakup in September 2021, the couple reconciled soon after and has continued to strengthen their bond. Tyrese and Zelie have remained open about their love, often sharing heartfelt posts and moments on social media. Their journey together has been a mix of public declarations and private growth, showing the resilience of their relationship despite the pressures of the spotlight. With a strong presence on Instagram and YouTube, Zelie has built a brand around beauty, fashion, and lifestyle content. Born on July 29, 1995, oh wow, she's a Leo like me, in the Dominican Republic, she is the founder of The Lash Mansion, a successful company that sells false lashes. Raised in Jacksonville, Florida, and Atlanta, Georgia, Zelie has grown from her roots to become a prominent figure in the influencer world, drawing fans with her charisma and entrepreneurial spirit. What is Zelie Timothy's Instagram? It's just at Zelie Timothy, Zelie, Timothy, Timothy, all one word. And her page is a hub for beauty, fashion, and lifestyle enthusiasts with over 600,000 followers. She engages her audience with a mix of personal posts, brand collaborations, and glimpses into her life with Tyrese Gibson. Her Instagram presence is a reflection of her multifaceted career as an influencer and entrepreneur. Fans who follow Zelie on Instagram can expect to see a blend of her professional endeavors and personal life, making it a must-follow account for those interested in her journey. Tyrese Gibson and Zelie's relationship history. So, their relationship history is marked by both passionate affection and brief turbulence. The couple began dating in March 2021, shortly after Tyrese's separation from his wife Samantha. Their relationship hit a rough patch in September 2021 when they announced their breakup on social media. However, by October 2021, they had reconciled and their relationship has remained strong since. Tyrese and Zelie continue to share their love story with fans, showcasing their journey together through ups and downs, proving the depth of their connection. The post, who is Tyrese Gibson's, at first they said appeared on comingsoon.net. And I don't even know how real this is to believe. Let's see here. So here they're talking about their love story, and apparently they are still going strong. This is from ET Online. I had to find a more reputable source, y'all, because Yahoo is Yahoo. I feel like this like AOL has been around so long, and at this point I'm like, is it just pulling stuff from other websites just to stay relevant? I don't even know. But Zelie said she was actually attracted to Paul Walker over Tyrese, and I actually don't blame her because I was the same way. And she was saying she's not even like really the type to be with white guys, but she just was more interested in Paul Walker. But I also think too, I mean, if you're watching the Fast and Furious franchise, isn't he like the main character? So that makes sense. And I think black males have just done a real number on black women, like the way they talk about us online, and it just makes you kind of lose interest in them and not be as attracted to them as we used to be. It's like the rose-colored glasses have been thrown off and stumped on. So she said that she doesn't mind really saying that because she was telling Tyrese like I wasn't really your type either, which we know she isn't his typical type. He was with like biracial women who were almost like Latina presenting or something, like white Latina presenting. And Zelie Timothy seems like she's just like a black girl from Dominican Republic. So, sometimes that's how it is. True love is sometimes going to usually be people that you normally wouldn't go for. That's when it's more like a love thing because it's not just attraction. Like, it's not to say you're not attracted to that person, but it's like you can't help but fall for that person because they're not even like the type you would usually go for, and you're able to still think this person is extremely hot and amazing because the love is like stronger than the way they look. So Tyrese said he's written a lot of songs for Zelie. I think at least 7 songs on his album. I guess it's coming out. I hope something comes out soon because like I just really want him working and not crying about his relationships online anymore. But so Tyrese has been candid about finding love with Zelie amid the pain of his divorce from Lee. Earlier this month, he shared several kissing photos with his girlfriend, writing, Zelie, you are the most loving, patient, and kind love God could ever send me. Thank you for standing with me as I create this painful art. And I'm almost sure you love this album even more. I dedicated 7 songs to Zelie because you are the beauty I discovered in my pain. And men cannot be single to save their lives. I feel like he's using her more, like he's saying, to assuage his pain. And it's like men do not know how to just be single and just work through their shit. And that's really why they do seem to bring their baggage from one relationship to the next, because he's basically using her to get through the pain. And it's like, how about you heal first and then you come to her? Because I feel like once he heals, he's not going to need her anymore, and then he's going to be on to the next woman, and she's probably going to be another biracial woman. Mark my words, ladies. Let me stop. Oh my goodness, this guy's just a mess. But I think I like this for Zelie because she's getting something out of it too. And she's getting more notoriety and attention, and is bringing more, publicity to her brand, which, of course will translate into more coins, hopefully, for her. So I'm like, okay, best of both worlds. He's with a brown girl finally, and, it's working out for both of them, hopefully. So he's just all over the place singing her praises. I just like, my goodness, this guy is... Celebrities are a trip. It's like they just, yeah. So, of course, here's Hudson talking to Tyrese, and of course, he's saying this like we don't know. He's saying, I'm a sucker for love. We're all aware. Tyrese, like, oh my gosh, like, all you talk about is love. He's somebody ready to get married. I wouldn't be surprised if he tried to marry Zelie. I feel like the only reason he hasn't married her is because she doesn't want to get married. She says she actually looked at him like he was too old at first. It wasn't love at first sight. And I think all that's like really funny. He is, when Hudson asked him if he's a romantic guy, he says, so many people think that they've got to do a lot in order to represent love or romanticism. I believe holding hands, walking, even if you're walking in the neighborhood, it's really the conversation you're having while holding hands that makes a difference. And he's actually right, unfortunately. He would know. These R&B guys, they just, whatever. They know the game. So I still believe in love and romance, he adds. Chivalry is not dead, not in my house. Gibson then put his money where his mouth is and gifted each audience member with red roses, including some special guests seated in the front row of the syndicated daytime show. The singer personally hands 27-year-old Timothy and his 15-year-old daughter, Shayla Summer Gibson, whom he shares with ex-wife Norma Gibson, their red roses, as Hudson and the show's crew hand out the rest. That's my Shayla. She is incredible, he says. I'm so proud of you. I love you. Daddy loves you. I love you. And Gibson and Timothy have been dating for over 2 years and went public with their relationship in 2021 when they were spotted together in Atlanta at the NBA All-Star Game. The singer tells Hudson that this Valentine's Day would be a special occasion after the losses he suffered around the holiday. He previously married his ex-wife Samantha Lee Gibson on Valentine's Day 2017. 5 years later, his mother, Priscilla Murray Gibson, died after a battle with COVID-19 and pneumonia. Oh, rest in peace. I did not know that. And Gibson explains that he's channeled the pain of those losses into his new live double album, Beautiful Pain. It's all of the vulnerabilities imaginable, he tells Hudson. I really hope this is going to be an album that can remind us of a feeling we all miss in music, with lyrics and songs and musicianship, and being able to convey some vulnerabilities versus I don't need you versus I don't need you. They spelled verses wrong. Should have been with the U. But anyways, on Sunday, the singer took to Instagram to share more about the upcoming record. I'm not doing this album despite my ex. I'm doing this album because of my ex, he wrote. It's my truth. It's my story, my pain, my trauma. I actually wish in one of the very best for my ex when it comes to this album. She can definitely get this work. Revealing that he's often asked, what's it like to date an influencer? The singer praised Timothy for the way she's influenced his life. I'm seeing her more as like a muse for him. But anyways, she influenced me to put my phone down while we were eating dinner to be more present. She influenced me to be a better father. It's so weird. Like, she's a social media influencer, but she has to tell him to put his phone down. Which totally, again, just debunks all the stereotypes that people have about quote-unquote IG models. This one guy was on a live the other day, Public Offenders Live, and was trying to say, like, IG models are so, like, thirsty for attention. And it's like, no, you all are thirsty to give her that attention. Like they tripping over themselves to like all their pictures and follow these women. It's like the internet is so big, you don't have to be looking at these women at all if you didn't want to, because I really don't ever see them, to be honest. So it's all about your algorithms and how you set up what you're looking at. That's what the internet's going to give you more of. So they're obviously looking at these women and wanting to look at these women, and they want the attention. So men do a lot of projection and pretend like women. They always act like women. I don't know if it's a pretense, I don't really care, but they always act like women want things that they want. And it's just like, ew. Like, better. We don't want your attention. Your attention brings violence and is scary, and you're usually coming to take something from us a lot of times that we don't want to give. So yeah, women don't have to be thirsty for male attention because it's literally everywhere. And it's honestly, the more you're trying to get away from it, the more it's around. So anyways, so she influenced me to be a better father and be more present with my daughters, because I see how present she is with her daughters. He added, I didn't even know she had kids, so that's news. She influenced me to smile again. She influenced me to not quit or give up on love. And more importantly, she influenced me to get in the studio to seek and sing my truth, put my raw and honest truth on every song on this album. Well, you might as well, because you're telling us all your business. So you might as well put it in a song so that you can make some more money to pay your child support. So yeah, that's that story, and it's good for him. Hopefully the album takes off and he can pay some bills, and yeah. And thanks for watching, everyone. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next video.